Good day, children. Today we move on to the next lesson from the textbook First Flight. The lesson is titled Nelson Mandela A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Please note that the lesson will be divided into three. So you will be getting three parts, and the lesson has been divided as from page number 17 to 18 will be part 1, from page number 19 to 21, that is till the oral comprehension check in page number 21 will be part 2, and page number 21 to 23 will be part 3, that is the paragraph which follows after the oral comprehension check on page number 21 till the end of the lesson in page number 23 will be part 3. Now, let's get back to the lesson. Now, this lesson is taken from Nelson Mandela's autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. This is an extract from his autobiography. Now, what is an autobiography? Autobiography is written by an author about himself or herself, their experiences, their struggles, their inspirations, their achievements, everything. So, this is an extract from Mandela's own life. Now, here there are a few things that you have to note about. One is Nelson Mandela speaks about the system of apartheid. Now, apartheid is a political system which separates people based on their race or their color. You will be aware that South Africa was under the apartheid system for a very long time, with the white dominating them. So, the whites refers to the Europeans who colonized the country, and Nelson Mandela is one of those freedom fighters who fought for the freedom of their country. Now, Mandela and his comrades in the African National Congress, they spent a lifetime fighting against the apartheid system, and Mandela spent 30 years in prison. He spent 30 years in prison, and finally, through a democratic election which was held in South Africa, he was elected as the first black president of South Africa in 1994. Okay. Now, a few other details about Mandela is he was born on 18th July 1918. He passed away on 5th December 2013. He was an anti-apartheid revolutionary. He was a political leader, a philanthropist, and he served as the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. And that's about Mandela. Now, let's move on to our lesson. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by the dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. So, 10th morning or 10th May was very bright and clear, and for the past few days, Mandela was pleasantly surrounded by. To be besieged by is to be surrounded by. He was pleasantly surrounded closely by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. And the inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. So, it was the first time that such a large gathering had ever attended a function in South Africa, because as I said before, South Africa was under the white rule for a long time, and this inauguration became a reason for all the dignitaries and the world leaders to come and attend a function in the South African soil. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Now, all the ceremonies were to take place in this sandstone amphitheatre. Now, amphitheatre is a building which does not have any roof, and it has a lot of rows of seats and rising in steps, and it is mainly very typical of the ancient Greece and Rome, and An example of an amphitheater for us right now will be the stadiums that you see around the world. All the stadiums that you see, that is, if we take Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium here in Cochin, you can see that it is open, there is no roof for it, and the rows of seats are rising in steps. So that's an example of amphitheater. No? A similar sandstone structure was formed by the Union buildings. Okay, this building was known as a Union building in Pretoria. Now, Pretoria is a place in South Africa, and the Union buildings was previously taken over by the white supremacy, and right now the same building is going to host the blacks for the first time. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. It was a sight to behold. It was a place of a rainbow gathering. A rainbow gathering here means that it is the coming together of various people. Okay, almost like the colors of the rainbow. People of different race, people of different culture coming together and for the installation of South Africa's first democratic and non-racial government. So, a government which is non-racial. Okay. Now, on that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zenani. On the podium, Mr. de Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. So, it was an autumn day, and Mandela was accompanied by his daughter Zenani, and on the podium or the stage, it was Mr. de Klerk was sworn in as the second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. So, first it was Mr. de Klerk as the second deputy president, then Thabo Mbeki as the first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the Republic and its people. So, when Mandela's turn came, he pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution, that he pledged to go by the rules set by the Constitution and to devote himself for the well-being of the Republic and its people, the Republic, the South Africa. And to the assembled guests and the watching world, I said, now what we are going to read now is an extract from the speech that he delivered on the day of the inauguration as he took oath as the president of the country. So, he said the following words to the assembled guests and to the watching world. Today, all of us do, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So, he says how by today everybody has shown by showing their presence, they are conferring or giving glory and hope to a newborn liberty. That is a new liberty for the South Africans who are under so much of slavery and colonization. It is a newborn liberty for them, and out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, here he refers to the apartheid system which existed in his country for a very long time. Okay, and it is an extraordinary human disaster. He suggests that this apartheid system has been a human disaster for all, and it lasted for too long. And he says how a new society should be born where all humanity should be proud of that particular society. We who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. So, he says how they who were considered as outlaws means this policy of apartheid, most of the countries had earlier broken their diplomatic relation with South Africa. So, like people, all the other countries were not really supportive of South Africans or the blacks in South Africa. So, he says how they were who were considered as outlaws not long ago have now received the rare privilege to be a to play the role of a host to nations of the world on their own soil. So all those countries who had broken off their diplomatic relations with South Africa, they have all come together for this function. And we thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. And he thanks all those distinguished international guests for coming and for taking over, for taking possession with the people of their country. And after all, he says, is the common victory for justice, for peace, and for human dignity. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. So he says how finally they have achieved their political emancipation or the political freedom from restrictions. So even before they had the political power, it was with so much of restriction. Now they are emancipated, or they are free without any restriction, and they pledge that he pledges to liberate his people from the bondage of poverty, from deprivation, or for that is the situation of not having one's rightful benefits, from suffering, from gender and other discrimination. Gender discrimination is being treated differently or unfavorably based on your gender or any other sort of discrimination which exists in the country. Never, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. And he says that there will never be a chance for this beautiful land, for their land to experience the oppression of one by another. That is, no man will be able to oppress one for any reason. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. So he says he's so proud of the achievement that they've made, that he says that the sun will never set so glorious a human achievement. It is a glorious human achievement for them that they have won the freedom for their land. Let freedom reign, God bless Africa. So he says, let freedom continue, or freedom persist, and let God bless Africa. So we come to the end of part 1. Now I would like you to answer question number 5 of oral comprehension check given in page number 19. I'll read out the question. What ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? Now you have to read part 1, that is from page number 17 to 18, and based on your understanding, answer question number 5 on page number 19 in your notebook. Okay, so we'll continue with part 2 in the next session. Thank you, children.